Last December, I decided to buy a reasonably priced bass guitar. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it because although I can play bass, I'm not a bass player. So I researched online and ended up with this Tagima Millenium 5 bass guitar. It's a 5-string. It's got a dark brown matte finish up front, and then at the back, you've got a natural wood finish. What drew me to this guitar was A, the price. It wasn't very expensive. B, it seemed like Tajima is a reputable brand. In fact, Tajima is a musical instrument brand based in Brazil, based out of Brazil. So I bought it, and then it was delivered to me. The problem is when I first played it, it wasn't set up properly. So I sent it to a guy and asked him to set it up for me. After about a week, got it back, and it wasn't quite as I expected. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to put the guy down or anything like that, but perhaps my mistake was I sent it to a guitar luthier whom I thought could set a bass up properly. Last January, I stumbled upon, through the referral of some friends, Sincopado Luthier Services. He's a guy who specializes in setting up bass guitars. And, my bass guitar, this one was with him for quite some time, but it came back today. And to be honest with you, it feels and plays so well. Sincopado is actually a one-man team. His name is Adrian, and he's a hell of a bass player. If you look at his page, you'll see some of his videos there, and wow, he's good, he's good. So I asked him to do 3 things to this bass guitar. Number 1, there were issues with the frets, right? When it came back to me from the first guy, it was buzzing all over. So there's a lot of fret buzz over here. Hindi naman siya nakukuha ng pickups, pero medyo, I think the action is set up too low, nakakairita. There may be some also in some of the other strings, and meron din, no? Number 2, I had him change the strings to Sadowski. And number 3, I actually asked Adrian to remove the stock nut and actually put a bone nut. And very timely because he had a black bone nut with him that he put in this guitar. It's very sleek. It matches the profile of the headstock and the neck very well. It actually plays a lot different from when I first got the guitar. There's a buttery feel to it. The frets are so level, there's no buzz anymore. The Sadowski strings feel great. And I actually had the chance to kind of sit down virtually with Adrian to ask him some questions, to know about his craft, and to learn about his journey as a musician. So here's my conversation with Adrian of Sincopado Luthier Services. Good evening, Mr. Adrian. Hello, hello.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be in your blog.
Maybe as we start, can you tell us more about Adrian Nunez, the bass player? How many years have you been playing? Who is Adrian Nunez as a bass player, pare?
I've been playing bass since 12 years old. High school. Actually, aksidente. Dahil the usual kwento ng bassista, di ba, na walang gustong humawak ng bass. Ikaw na lang mag-bass. Hindi, gitarista ako eh. Sarap nung minsan nung may distortion, may inaapakan. Hindi, walang gustong mag-bass eh. Ano bang pyesa? 4 na chords lang. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Yun talaga yung first bass line ko.
F, B flat, di ba?
F sharp,
B flat.
B, tapos
F sharp.
A, di ba? Yung pabayo, di ba? So, things revolved from evolved from that phase on. Tapos I get to play sa church, then malaking church din. Been almost all of my playing years been part of the worship team. I had a chance to play for different artists then, and like sila Tyro and Yumi, yung Real Groove, that is a 70s band, tas retro. So yun, in a nutshell, yun yung fast pace from 12 years old bass player to the present. Since wala tayong mga gigs ngayon, ever since the pandemic started, I'm taking things online muna for now.
So, pareho pala tayo kasi ako nahasa din ako as a musician sa simbahan, sa worship team, di ba? Just like you, I was part of the worship team at a very young age. As a guitar player, dun din ako nahasa, and that's also where I met, industry bigwigs. So,
Yes, may expose ka talaga.
Correct. So, you as a bass player, pare, anong genre mo ngayon? In our younger days, di ba? Medyo nagsimula sa rock-rockan, grunge, Nirvana, and all that. So, ano naging journey ng ng musical genre mo? From Smells Like Teen Spirit, saan mga genre ka napunta at saan ka nagsettle, pare?
Naku, napakarami, bro. I mean, until now, constantly evolving. Kasi lalo na ngayon, I used to play Korn dati. Korn, Smells Like Teen Spirit, yan yung mga Limp Bizkit, yung mga new metal. Siyempre, nagdumanin ako sa Metallica, Megadeth, all those stuff. Slayer, nagganyan din ako. Pero nung narinig ko sa kaibigan ko yung still a friend of mine.
Incognito, pare.
Yes. Yan yung pinaka turning point ko, bro. Na, man, sino yung bandang yan? I wanna play that. I wanna learn to play that. Simula nun, dun ako na-open sa ibang more wide genres kung baga. Ngayon, ang mostly na pinapakinggan ko R&B, pop, hip-hop, jazz, fusion. Mahilig ako mag-explore ng mga iba-ibang tunog sa being a sideman. Siyempre, you have to play what the song is required to you. And ang tawag namin doon yung kailangan mo bit-bitin yung pyesa ng maayos.
Correct.
Lalo na ngayon, take this time right now to hone your skills. Dahil ito yung pinaka-perfect time. Yes, walang gigs. It's a sad state. Iba pa rin ang natuturo ng entablado. But, you can counteract that negative thing into a positive thing. Why don't you spend more time on kilalanin mo yung instrumento mo? And not like before, you guys have the, all the resources at your fingertips. Hindi katulad noon na maghahalong ka ng mga CD, papaburn ganyan. Iiwan ko yung desktop ko dati na naka-on 24 hours para lang mag-download sa LimeWire.
Pare, ngayon nga, di ba, punta ka lang sa YouTube. How to play.
Napster, LimeWire. Tapos kinabukasan yung kilig ko. Kinabukasan, uy, shucks, may bago akong listening.
Oh, di ba?
Sabi ko, uy. Ngayon, you got YouTube. You got Apple Music. You got Spotify, Deezer. I always say this on my videos. Walang excuse para hindi gumaling.
Correct. Ngayon pare, di ba, punta ka lang sa YouTube, ang daming how-to tutorials kahit anong kantang makita mo.
Exactly. Now, sa sobrang diverse ng mga choices, di ba? It came to a point din na parang naano rin ako before na nalunod ako. Parang sobrang daming putahe. Parang buffet. lahat masarap. Gets mo, bro?
Oo.
Maybe narrow it down to your top 3 or 4. Actually, sobra pa ngayon 4 eh. Siguro top 3 bass players. And in the next, siguro 3 months, sila lang ang tutukan mo.
Yun.
Sila lang.
O pare, maiba naman tayo usapan konti. How did you eventually become a bass luthier or somebody who sets up bass guitars? As a musician, paano napunta dun sa part na yun yung journey mo?
To be honest with you, bro, before, I used to have my bases set up by luthiers here. But somehow, was never satisfied with the way they set up my bases. Tapos, back then kasi, I used to have a very low action. Very low. Kasi uso yun noon.
Oh, di ba?
Pero ang na-realize ko when I was gigging na parang hindi pala nag-resonate ng maayos yung bass pag sobrang baba ng action. So, yung mga girths, yung kapal ng tunog, hindi mo makukuha yan pag sobrang baba ng action mo. Actually, to give you a background na rin, Sincopado was born back in 2015. And ayoko dapat ituloy. Kasi alam ko marami ako makakabangga dito. And I always say this in my videos. My stuff is not for everybody. If you like my stuff, my heartfelt gratitude. Kung hindi mo gusto, thank you din. So I'm just sharing yung mga learnings ko bilang bass player at bilang bass luthier or tech, ganyan. Kasi I believe the reason why I don't accept guitars here is having the bass setup and guitar setup are totally night and day. Yes, somehow it may be, kind of similar, tweak, blah, blah, blah. But the main difference is the feel. A lot of, with all due respect then, a lot of, techs around here are guitar players. So they set up the basses na pang gitara. Gets mo? So,
kunyari action, di ba? Ako, as a guitarist, gusto ko mababa yung action kasi I can speed up my solo parts. Pero as a bass player,
a lot of notable players have changed their minds regarding that. And also pag narinig ko pa lang yung isang recording ng alam ko na kagad kung mababa yung action nung tone na yun o medyo may laban onte. Ayoko na sobrang taas ng action. Ayoko na sobrang baba. Nasa gitna lang ako, bro. And, oo, sakto lang. Para pwede kang, kasi the beauty of having the, gitnang action lang, you can train your right hand technique with morely on dynamics. I always tell the people din na, yung mga peeps na, guys, napakalaking factor ng kalabit, yung right hand technique. Until now, ako mismo, bro, I have to unlearn, especially nitong pandemic, ako mismo, nag-self-check ako sa sarili ko na ang dami kong in-unlearn na stuff before. Paano mo malalaman yung tama kalabit? Hindi matuturo yun. Ikaw mismo makakaalam nun.
Nafe-feel yun,
yes, it's a personal thing. The more you spend time on your instrument, dun mo lang malalaman din yun. Some players like it so low, I can set up basses na sobrang baba. Walang problema doon. But inaano ko rin yung cons ng ano kasi nanggaling na ako mismo sa ganun. So at the end of the day, it's a personal preference thing din. No? Some players like to really dig in. So and yung lambot, kaya wag kabahan yung mga tao. Sabihin ba na, ano, ah, baka masyadong matigas o bla bla bla. Ang lambot naka-factor lang sa dalawang bagay, bro. Kung paano sinet up yung base at kung anong kwerdas ang ginamit. So all of my what can you say about the Sadowski? You had that base for a couple of days.
Pare, puntahan natin
All of the bases that
yung Sadowski maya-maya. Bago tayo pumunta sa Sadowski, tanong ko lang sa'yo. So, your primary offering as a tech or luthier is what you call your base TLC, di ba? For the benefit, let's say, of gustong padala yung baho sa'yo, anong ibig sabihin ng base TLC sa Sincopado?
base care TLC is, di ba, na TLC, as we all know, is tender loving care. So, it's like sounds cheesy, it might sound cheesy and all, pero it's like me putting my personal touch on every instrument. Natutunan ko talaga yung personal touch sa customer service side. So I pour my heart out on every basis that comes here sa shop, and I treat it as my own base. And also considering the side rin yung preference ng player or ano bang genre niya. Sometimes I ask yung client na, do you play with a pick? Kasi iba yung setup rin dun. Then as I've said, I don't really want to pursue this, but my friends encouraged me to continue with it. And yeah, so far by God's grace, it's 2021. I am still here.
Ayos.
I am still here.
So bro, sabi mo kanina, what you do is not for everybody, because obviously there will be people who will disagree with your philosophies on setting up places. Have you ever had a client tell you na hindi ko gusto yung ginawa mo, pare?
Meron
din.
So what I do is just I always have an open mind of what the client can say, and I'll just learn from it. And if possible, they can. I'll have the bass set back here, and I'll do more of their requests for free.
Ito naman tayo sa Dowski strings, no? So the first thing I noticed when I got this bass back from you with these new strings is iba yung feel niya sa ibang kwerdas, di ba? What makes Sadowski strings better than what's out there? And pare, punta ka lang sa music store, di ba? Ang dami mong pagpipilian na strings from a bass perspective. Bakit iba yung feel niya? Bakit sobrang solid siya?
If people will research who Roger Sadowski is, he is one of the most respected luthier, not just bass, also guitar. He does guitar since the 80s. Clients such as Marcus Miller, Tal Wilkenfeld, Verdine White, to name a few.
Diba?
Also, that I think si Will Lee rin, the great Will Lee. What makes the Sadowski great? Kasi siya lang yung narinig kong bass string na any bass na kabitan ko ay talagang napakaklaro ng tunog. Kasi more of I mean, lalo na yung you have the 5-string Tagima there, especially on the B string. Ang breaking point 5-string set is yung low, particular sa akin yung low B. A lot of brands nagiging muddy yung bass string. But if you're holding the Tagima right now, right?
Oh.
look on your B string, yung sa may bridge. That is a tapered B string.
Pansin ko nga yun
So,
eh.
nap
Nap,
napakaklaro ng B
oo.
string niya.
May tanong ako sa'yo about this whole tapered B string. I mean,
Mm.
obviously, my experience with basses is very limited. Pero is Sadowski the only brand that does tapered um, B
Then
strings?
may iba rin mga
Meron
tapered
din.
ano,
Oo.
may iba rin mga tapered din.
What's the
Uh,
advantage of a tapered low B string?
More on clarity, tightness ng B string kasi most of the time yung B string ng sa isang string set nagiging muddy yung low B. So since mas makapal siya, mas maganda yung mas tight siya para mabanat siya and klaro yung ma-project niyang tunog. Now, kaya ninipisan yung dulo, may tapered. It provides more bite lalo na sa bridge. Kaya yung attack niya, pag when you attack the low B, lalo na pag nag-open ka, talagang klaro. You can also yung maririnig niya sa evidence sa mga recording. Kaka-demo ko lang ng bass na to. I played another Israel tune. Siyempre maraming mga low B nagapang doon. So talagang clear na clear. And yun nga, I mean, the name does not require an introduction. Roger Sadowski is one of the legendary, actually, if I would look yung idol na luthier siya. And I get the sets directly
Directly from him.
him
May napanood
sa
nga
New
akong
York.
interview ni Verdine White sa YouTube, and he was praising both his signature Sadowski guitars and the craftsmanship of Roger Sadowski. And nung napanood ko yun, sabi ko, excited na ako ma-feel ano ba talaga yung feel ng Sadowski strings. And when I got this bass, pare, iba talaga dun sa lumang kwerdas nito. Medyo the effort it takes to produce clear and ringing notes, mas hindi siya effortful. Mas konti yung effort sa kanang kamay, pero ang ganda nung notang lumalabas.
Glad you like it, bro. And also, ang principle ko lang din sa mga sa bass strings, bro. Kung anong parang si Lord lang. Kung anong tinanim mo, yun ang aanihin mo, bro. Put on crappy strings, don't expect good tone, don't expect good playability and feel and all. I mean, also, yung mga cheap strings, bro, they will eat up your frets. Yung Sadowski set ng stainless yan, hindi yan kumakain ng fret wires. So, yun ang isa rin nakita kong plus point sa kanya kahit na stainless siya. Ganun lang kasimple yun. Put on good strings, then you will reap good results. So, ako, kahit na yung Sadowski's, kinabit ko na rin yan sa mga budget bases and sabi ko ganun talagang wala akong masabi dahil kahit budget basis, kumakanta talaga.
Pare, last few minutes, maybe one parting shot. In your own collection, what do you consider your best or your favorite axe bass guitar?
Siyempre may Fender Marcus Miller. Nasa case lang ngayon. Hindi ko nalaman. Pero yeah, yung Fender Marcus Miller, bro.
It might not be yours, it might have been somebody else. What's the best bass guitar that you've played?
It's a Fodera.
Fodera. Okay.
And also this Ken Smith. So yun nga, I mean, as a bass player din on that side, siguro din nasa ano na rin ako ngayon na nakasubok na ako ng wide ranges of basses from budget basses to high end such as this. This is the Ken Smith. Usually, a Ken Smith is about $4,000 pataas. So, and also sa Sadowski's then, I had the pleasure of setting up a Sadowski NYC nitong January lang. So, I mean, it's again, to ko lang kasimple yung inaano yung mga bases kasi sinatanong nila, maraming tatanong ano yung difference ng ganyan, base A, base B, blah, blah, blah. As simple as kaka-decorize ko siya ng parang pag sumakay ka ng Toyota Vios, lipat ka ng ah, Ferrari. Ganun.
Malayo eh, no?
So, ganun. So, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na yung budget basis, ay, papalag na yan doon sa mga high-end. Hindi, sir. um, Tapos nung nakahawak ko ng Fodera, doon ko naiintindihan na, kaya pala nagagawa ni Wooten yung mga base acrobatics na yun. Kasi yun ata yung base na sobrang baba ng action na nahawakan ko na it felt so weird pero hindi ako sumasabit. As in, wala. As in, talagang wala na siyang relief. Ganun. Sabi ko, nung nakahawak ko nun, dun, kaya pala ganun nagagawa ni Wooten effortless. And also, syempre, number one, he's got the skill. Kasi
Siyempre.
nagtanim siya sa nagtanim siya kasi baka lang I just wanna clarify that kasi baka maintindihan ng tao na dahil kasi may podera lang. No, guys. Nagtanim siya kasi ng oras sa instrumento. Kaya nagagawa niya yung mga nakikita nating acrobatics ng gano'n. I would like to encourage everyone na don't be hindered, don't nyo isipin na ay meron akong budget base lang, ganyan. Wag mo langin yan. Until now, I still have my SX Jazz Bass, 8,000 pesos. That became my main base. So during the gig times then, bass player friends will come to the gig, tambay, ganyan. Tapos will come up to me, Tol, ganda ng tunog ng Fender mo. Nung Fender? Wala akong Fender. This is just a look. It's an SX. 8,000. Ganyan tumunog. Ganyan. Ikaw ba tunogin mo? Wala. Stock pickups. I just changed the preamp. Tapos good strings din, syempre. So, hindi hinder yung instrumento. So, sometimes kasi, we only hinder ourselves sa pag-iisip natin na hindi ko magagawa. Hindi. I mean, sinasabi ko sa inyo guys, anything is possible if you are dedicated and you spend time talaga.
Correct.
We cannot progress in not just in the bass, in any, I'm talking about general na instruments, ganyan. We cannot progress on a particular field if hindi tayo mag-spend time doon sa bagay na yun. Ito, I'll quote a very good guitar player na it struck me hard nung narinig ko tong quote na to. You're a guitar player. Do you know, kilala mo ba si Pliny?
Yes.
Sobrang galing, di ba, ng banda niya.
Iba.
Yung di ba? Yung bayista niya, yun ang sound engineer niya. So anyway, ang quote niya is this. It struck me so hard. You put your playing under a microscope whenever you record. Sobrang totoo yan. Naririnig lahat ng nuances. Tempo, tone, pakiramdam. Lahat. Wala kang matatago dun. Yung playing position mo, yung right hand plucking mo din. So, na-check talaga siya. Bukod sa video, pag narinig mo siya let's say, sa Logic, parang,
sa tenga.
Uy, grabe, ang muddy pala ng tunog ko doon. May maririnig mo talaga na yung mga lahat ng pros and cons mo. So, at the end of the day, you have to be brutally honest to yourself na, sometimes may mga play ako na makes me cringe na, yak, ginawa ko yun, kadiri. Like, so, maraming matututunan if you record yourself. Can I share also, isa din na nag-struck sa akin last year, napanood ko si Marcus Miller, bro, sa Instagram live. He called Victor Wooten. These guys are the bass titans, worldwide bass titans. Kung totoo sinisipin ng mga ibang tao, hindi na kailangan mag-ensayo ng tomato. But no, hindi. He called Victor Wooten live to. As soon as Victor Wooten picked up the phone, sabi ni Marcos, unang tinanong sa akin, "Hey Victor, what have you been practicing lately?" Na ano ko doon na parang, parang totoo ba itong narinig ko? Diba parang yun pa rin ang nasa isip nila.
Practice
Because
pa rin.
music is evolution.
Oh, of course.
You have to evolve. Be inspired. We are blessed to have an instrument to keep us sane. Especially right now, 'di ba? A lot of people are sad of what's happening around, pero thank God we have our instrument. We can make music, we can learn, we can progress.
Brother, thank you very much for this conversation. Ang daming kong natutunan and I'm sure for the bassists or aspiring bassists who are watching, very, very, very timely ang iyong advice. I mean, it's the pandemic. Nung hindi
Mm,
pandemic, ang madalas na reklamo natin as musicians, wala akong oras mag-practice eh. Diba? Tapos
wala
ngayon,
kang excuse ngayon.
wala
Wala kang
talagang
excuse.
excuse ngayon kasi walang gig.
So, if you got 30 minutes for the day, you know, that's absolutely fine. 30 minutes every day. So, Monday, 30 minutes. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Pag natapos ang isang linggo, napakalaking bagay nun. Di
Kahit
ba?
30 minutos lang, laking improvement
Kahit,
nun.
kahit 15 minutes
Oo,
lang o nagdo-noodle ka lang o ano, we have a lot of excuses.
totoo yun, totoo yun. Now we don't anymore.
pero pero iniintay lang tayo nung base natin na i-pick up siya tapos mag-practice. Kasi kahit na bigyan kita ng fodera, pag hindi ka magpa-practice, basura lang
Wala,
yan.
basura talaga. No, correct.
Di ba? Parang,
Oo, pare.
parang, I mean, and also, yes, ito, I love gear. I fix gear every day, almost every day. But at the end of the day, these are just tools. It is you, the player, who will make the music and make this inanimate object sing.
Ayos. Thank you, Adrian. Pare, appreciate it. And hopefully, a lot of you get some more business through people watching this video. Again, pare, maraming salamat. Thank you for this time and thank you
Maraming
for setting
salamat.
this base, pare.
Sobrang thank
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button.